Hello. So I am going to show you guys how to water marble, or how I water marble. I can't guarantee that this will be any different from any other water marble you might see on YouTube, but I've had people ask me about it, so I just figured why not. I'll just go ahead and make a water marble video. So here I have my plastic cup. I use plastic cups full of room temperature bottled water. I have Q-tips to help me clean up in the cup after I dunk my finger in. I have some toothpicks. This is for me to create my designs in the water marble. I have Scotch tape to tape around my fingers so that it doesn't make a complete mess out of everything. Some scissors just to help me take off the tape after I'm done with my designs. So I've already prepped my nails. I've got 2 coats of Wet n Wild French White, which is right here. So painting your nails with the base white just kind of helps the colors pop more. So that's what I like to do. Some people use other colors for a base, like maybe a light pink, since I'm using pink in here, but I probably 99% of the time I use white. I just think it's easiest and again makes colors pop. So I'm going to tape off my fingers. So this is how I do that. Just get the tape along the cuticle there and tape that part off. And I drop my tape. Grab a second piece of tape. And the second piece is just going to go right along here on the side of your nail, underneath the finger, and again around here. So that's just going to prevent huge mess, and that's what the back looks like. So, okay. I've chosen to use 3 colors in this tutorial. You could use more, you could use less. It's really just preference. Most of the time I like to use 3 just because 2 kind of feels plain sometimes to me, and 3 just seems like a safe number. So I am doing Sally Hansen Extreme Wear Cherry Red, OPI Kiss Me On My Tulips, and Wet n Wild French White. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting my drops into the water here. However many drops is really up to you. I tend to use quite a few drops. That's just my preference. A lot of people would say it's a waste of polish, and to be honest, it probably is, but I'm pretty picky with my water marbling and the kind of the designs that I do, so when I'm using 3 colors, most of the time I'll probably do 4 rings of each color, just because I like to have options, I guess. I just like there to be a lot in there. I really like all the colors to show up. So here I've got 4 rings of each color. So now I'm going to grab my toothpick, and with the tip of that I'm just going to start dragging. When I do my water marbles, I start almost all of them like this, dragging in from all 4 corners. I just think that kind of brings all the colors in and gives, I don't know, that's just like how I like to start them. And then I'm just going to kind of do random swirls with my toothpick in there, and I'm wiping off my toothpick after each dunk in there so that it doesn't all gather, because that'll kind of ruin the design. And you don't necessarily have to use a toothpick. You can use like a needle or maybe an orange wood stick. I just like to use toothpicks. So in there, I'm going to find a design I like, and I think I'm going to kind of aim for this area right here. So I'm going to get my finger, I'm going to start with my ring finger, and when I do this, I like to get my finger horizontal to the water and just dunk straight down. And then I straighten out my finger in the water, and I'm going to blow on the surface of the water to kind of help the polish dry up a little faster. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Q-tip, just swirl it around to capture all that excess polish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I know a lot of people will dunk maybe 2 fingers in there at once, or even sometimes 3. And that's okay if you want to do that. You don't want to waste so much polish. This is just, again, I'm picky, so I like to do 1 finger at a time. So my surface is all clean, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my finger out. And that's my finished design. As you can see, I ended up getting a couple of bubbles in there, but it happens. So that's my finished finger. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this hand, and I'll get back to you when I'm doing some cleanup. Okay, so I'm back. I just decided it might be a little more helpful if I showed you guys me doing another finger. So as you can see, I'm almost done. I've just left my index finger left. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the process one more time. I don't know, maybe it'll help you. So again, I'm just going to do my 4 rings of each color. And a lot of people ask about brands, what brands of polish work best. And honestly, it's more of a trial and error thing, I think. Testing out a polish is going to tell you more about how it works for water marbling than a brand. I mean, I like to use, if you really want a brand, Sally Hansen Extreme Wear, I've never really encountered any problems using those for water marbling, or OPI. For the most part, those work. So if you really want a brand, but again, I don't think brand makes all that big a difference. You just kind of have to test, which I know can be annoying, but it's part of the process. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of draw in from 4 sides and just do some random little swirls in there, try and create something I like. And that's the thing about water marbling, that it's not an exact thing. Unless you're purposely aiming for a specific design, everything's going to come out different. So there's really not a wrong way to do it, I don't think. It's just practice. If you like what you've got on your nails, then I'd say you were a success in water marbling. So I kind of like this little area right here, so I'm going to go ahead and dunk my index finger. I'm going to actually turn the cup to make this easier for me, and get my index finger and dunk that right in there. Again, just blowing on the water, just on the surface to help that dry a little faster. Make it easier to pick up. And looks pretty clean, so I'm gonna pull my finger out, and there's that design. Okay, so now I've got my whole hand done with water marbling. So again, this time I really will be back to clean up. Okay, so I have removed all of my tape, and now I'm just going to show you on one of my fingers how I clean up. I've got the Q-tip right here. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I'm just going to dip that in some nail polish remover I have right here. And for these big pieces, you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and clean that up as best as I can. Again, I'm sorry, I know this isn't like the best quality tutorial. This is kind of my first time doing this thing, and I just thought I'd try it out since so many people asked. So I'm going to, I guess, see how this goes. Okay, so I've gotten most of the larger pieces. You can see there's still some polish around my cuticle. but I don't like to use the Q-tip because you can see it's got a pretty broad tip, and I tend to mess up my design. So this is what I do. I use my toothpick, and I've got a cotton ball here, and what I do is I get some of the cotton from the cotton ball and just kind of wrap it around the end of the Q-tip like that. Can you see that? Okay. And just kind of wrap it around the tip of that like this. Okay. Okay. So I've got that. And it's got just a much finer tip, so for these little bits in there, rather than using a cotton swab and kind of messing up the design, or at least I know I would, I dip that in the nail polish remover, and then I'm able to get so much closer to the design and just go along the cuticle without ruining my design, which I know I will do if I do this with the Q-tip. So there you go, and that's it. So that's my process, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do that to the rest of my fingers. Okay, so I am done with my cleanup, you can see. So the final step would be putting your top coat on. I use Seche-Vite, so I'm done with my cleanup, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my top coat to just give it that shine. There you go. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Let's zoom in a little. Okay. I'm running a little low on this bottle, so, and you want to make sure that your water marble is completely dry when you put on the top coat, because the polish will smear and it will just kind of destroy your design. But you can see right here, or maybe you can't, I did smear a little bit. That wasn't because of my nails, because they are dry. When I was marbling, I got a couple of bubbles, and sometimes it happens. It can be the way you dunk your finger in, or if there were bubbles in the water, it just happens sometimes. But when you have bubbles, the top coat will kind of pop them, and that's what happened there, and that's why it kind of smeared a little bit. But I don't think it completely ruins the nail, so again, it just sometimes happens, you know. Even me, who's done a million water marbles, it happens. So I'm just gonna keep on with my top coat. Again, this is my first tutorial, so try not to go too hard on me. I have a water marble FAQ on my blog on Tumblr, so I'll go ahead and leave a link to that in the description bar. It might answer some questions. Also, feel free to ask any questions in my in the comments to this video, or I don't know if you have suggestions, or if maybe even somehow you enjoyed this and you want me to do more tutorials with maybe some different colors, maybe more colors. But there you go, my water marble is done.